Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for another reaction video, and today we'll be checking out 10 weird animals only found in Canada. I did one of these recently. It was for England, I believe it was, and saw some unique animals there. So I'm curious to see what is only in Canada and not in the US as well, since we basically share just a border between us and the same continent. So yeah, let's get into it.
When you think of Canada, what do you think of? Maple syrup? Beavers? Snow? Whatever it is, we're sure that wildlife fits in there somewhere. There are a lot of creatures that spring to mind when thinking about Canada, but some are more unique to the area than you'd think. Today, we're looking at 10 animals that you'll only find in Canada. Let's jump in. Number 10, the Vancouver Island Marmot. The Vancouver Island Marmot is number 10 on our list. This animal is only found in Canada, more specifically in the high mountains of Vancouver Island, as you might well have imagined. Compared to most other marmots, the Vancouver Island Marmot is quite large. Adults can weigh up to 7 kg.
Is that the same animal with those viral videos years ago where it looks up and it's like somebody's doing a voiceover and it's screaming, Alan, 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 Alan. I think it's Alan. And then starts yelling, Steve, Steve, Steve. It's really corny, but it looks like it's this animal, but I could be mistaken.
Their main visual characteristic is their rich brown fur and the white markings on their nose, chin, forehead, and chest. Where most birds migrate, these do not. They actually hibernate during the long alpine winters when food is not readily available. Unfortunately, this species is critically endangered, and less than 30 Vancouver Island marmots remain in the wild. Number 9. The Richardson Collared Lemming. No, we aren't talking about the world-famous computer game Lemmings here, but this was what those lovely little creatures were based on. The Richardson's Collared Lemming.
I don't know if I remember some video game called Lemmings. Is that something? Maybe I'm just getting old and I don't remember this stuff as well as I used to. That doesn't seem familiar to me.
But this was what those lovely little creatures were based on. The Richardson's Collared Lemming. This species of lemming is on the endangered species list, though it's classified as LC, that is, of least concern.
It looks like a little hamster or gerbil type animal.
Sadly, this is something that replicates the game. Global warming and floods have ruined most of their native habitats, which happens to be the tundras in the West Hudson's Bay area of Canada.
He looks like he's yelling at that skier, like, what are you doing here? Get away.
They live in gregarious colonies of several dozen lemmings, and their main predators are snowy owls, Arctic foxes, and mustelids. Their young are born in burrows beneath thick vegetation for protection. Unusually, females have up to 2 litters a year, with anywhere from 4 to 8 pups a litter. Weird, eh? Number 8.
Twice a year, 4 to 8 a year, so that's 8 to 16 a year. That's crazy.
The Maritime Shrew. Number 8 is the Maritime Shrew. This small mammal is found in 2 provinces in Canada, both Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. They live primarily in marshy wetlands, and their habitat is often damaged due to the increasing numbers of flooding in both Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. In fact, the maritime shrew population is actually decreasing at a fairly rapid pace.
Kind of resembles like a rat or a rodent.
So it's quite rare to actually spot one of these. Their diet mainly consists of earthworms, slugs, woodlice, and small arthropods, and they weigh, on average, just between 0.003 and 0.007 pounds. Adorable. Number 7. The Ogilvy Mountains Collared Lemming. Yes, number 7 is the second lemming that we're looking at today. Except it's the Ogilvy Mountains Collared Lemming this time.
That one's cute. Doesn't look like a rat.
Today. Except it's the Ogilvy Mountains Collared Lemming this time. This species of lemming can only be found in the Yukon Territory. Its natural habitat is the tundra, and it's one of a few select mammals solely found in Canada. Their short ears and bushy tail help them to conserve heat in the long, harsh Arctic winters, while also giving them an adorable look, at least when they're younger. While they are considered an endangered species, they are marked as LC, of least concern, just like the first group of lemmings on this list.
So LC, least concern, does that mean that like if they go extinct, they don't care? Or they're not far enough along on the extinction level to have to be concerned about them actually going extinct?
Front teeth of the Ogilvy Mountains collared lemming never stop growing. They spend their winters hunting for plant matter that has been buried by the snow. Their snow burrows have separate spaces for sleeping, nesting, and defecating. They're like something from Narnia, buried in little houses in the snow. Aww. Number 6, the Ross's goose. The Ross's goose is one that you've no doubt heard in Canada, even if you didn't know that it was anything unusual. This variation of goose has white feathers and black wingtips. Canada's Northern Territories are its native breeding grounds. In fact, this is the only place that the Ross's goose will breed.
Is the only difference the black tip on the feathers, or it looks like its neck is actually much shorter too, because, or am I thinking of a swan? Swans have really long necks. Geese, I don't believe do.
It returns here every year for that purpose. It's so small that explorers didn't even recognize it as a goose until 1861, and its native breeding grounds were not located by scientists until 1938. Surely, its population has greatly increased in the recent decades thanks to conservation efforts. The Ross's goose occasionally will develop a mutation known as blue, which affects the color of its feathers. Its morph is only rarely documented, but it's beautiful to see. Still, even without it, they're a cute addition to this list. We're halfway through our list, and we're pretty sure we've already mentioned something you've never heard of before. So, before we move, why not give us a thumbs up? Let's try and get to 5,000 likes. Now,
You can do that on this video too. Give me a thumbs up too.
let's continue. Number 5, the Harris's sparrow. From one little bird to an even smaller one, number 5 is the Harris's sparrow. They might be little, but they are, in fact, considered quite large for a sparrow. They're most often seen in Nunavut, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, and they usually breed in the central part of North Canada. These birds are known to migrate towards the Great Plains during winter, and they are often confused with the Lapland longspur. Though they may look similar, the Harris's sparrow have a completely unique chirp. They can also be heard making musical chittering, which are primarily delivered from a pretty high perch.
Birds are interesting because there's like endless amounts of birds. Here in the U.S., it's like we have tons and tons and tons of species of birds. And I know we have sparrows, but obviously, that's a specific sparrow. But I wonder what type of animal has the most species, like, birds compared to cats or canines or deer or bear. Well, I'm going to sound real ignorant right now. What kind of categories and subcategories do like bears and all of those types of animals fall into? Or are they under one parent category? I need to go back and watch something specific on just the breakdown of animals and how they are categorized. This looks like it might be a reindeer.
Number 4, the Prairie caribou. Canada is almost exclusively home to the Prairie caribou. This subspecies of caribou is endemic to the high Arctic islands of Nuvotnu and the Northwest Territories of Canada.
This looks really similar to the reindeer I was just looking at on the British video. And the reason it really draws my attention is because the one that seems like it's like right in the middle of their head, that one set of antlers that's like right in the middle of their forehead, I don't think I've seen that like on regular deer. And then this is a caribou, obviously. Is caribou in the deer family as well? Some huge antlers, though.
Both the males and females grow antlers, the females from June to September and the males from March to August. During the winter, the prairie caribou, both male and female, have a thick, pure white coat of fur. They are the smallest out of all the subspecies of North American caribou, and on average, female prairie caribou only weigh 60 kg, while males weigh 110 kg.
Can somebody tell me the difference between a reindeer and a caribou? Because these literally look very, very alike to me.
With all that space to roam and grow, you might think that they would actually grow to fit their environment. But that certainly didn't end up being the case. Number 3. The Eskimo curlew. This one is possibly the most curious on our list.
Excuse me, sorry. Another bird.
The Eskimo curlew. This unusual bird lives in the tundras of western Arctic Canada.
It's got a long beak.
In the late 1800s, roughly 2 million Eskimo curlews were killed each year for commercial harvest, which, subsequently, decimated their population. Once
Commercial harvest in what sense? Are they harvesting them for food? Or are they harvesting them for their feathers? What would they be harvesting them for?
London, there have now been no reliable sightings of this bird since 1987.
Wow.
Though the occasional birder still claims to see one. They feed mostly on berries and insects and weigh approximately only 360 g. It's unknown whether this bird has actually gone extinct or only remains as critically endangered. And there's much debate on the matter within both the birding community and the scientific community. One thing's for sure, however, these birds are definitely elusive.
What is this thing?
Number 2. The Vancouver lamprey.
Yeah.
It's almost as classic as the moose or maple syrup. It's the Vancouver lamprey. This subspecies of lamprey is only found in just 2 lakes, Lake Cowichan and Massachee Lake, both located in Vancouver Island, Canada. It's often known as the Cowichan lamprey. They range in length from 11 centimeters to 27 centimeters.
That just looks so scary right there to me. It reminds me also of the movie Tremors, which was obviously like a land version of something like this. But that, like, I don't know how big these creatures get, but can you imagine your finger gets in there and it just shreds your finger? Ugh.
And their eyes are actually on top of their head. It's a hematophagous predator, meaning that it latches onto fish species and feeds off of them.
Ew.
Their most common prey are the cutthroat trout, the coho salmon, and are one of the leading predators of salmonids. Before we continue, why don't you share this video with your friends? I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. Number 1. The Canadian Arctic Marble Fox.
That's beautiful.
Number 1 is the Canadian Arctic Marble Fox. This species of fox is considered to be one of the rarest of fox species, and it is utterly beautiful.
So I was asking earlier about categories, and dogs and wolves and coyotes and now fox. I'm assuming that they're all under the same canine species, but I could be wrong, obviously. But this is a beautiful fox. And so yeah, tell me in the comments, do you know, are all these dog animals, are they all canine?
They occur from genetic mutations and gain their name from the marble appearance of their fur. It's primarily white with either gray, black, or red swirled through it. There is a high movement to try and domesticate them, but it is highly discouraged and sometimes even illegal to own the Canadian Arctic marble fox as a pet. They live for 3 to 4 years in the wild and are well adapted to the frigid Arctic winters. They're playful, plentiful, and not for petting. They are, however, definitely the winner of the top spot because of their elegant look and huge popularity. We think you'd be barking mad not to love them. Thanks for watching. Want to suggest a video? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe to our channel for more content.
All right. That was a pretty cool video. Some of those animals were new. Well, actually, I'd say most of those animals were new to me. Are any of these animals new to you? And depending on where you're watching in the world, where you're watching this video from, are you familiar with any animals that are only in your region? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what country you're in, and what animals are native only to your country that you know of. Yeah, and we'll leave it there. If you want to help support my channel, you can do so by checking out themelvinshop.com. Pick up shirts like this one I'm wearing right now. And if you're interested in purchasing any merch and you want to help support me, you could just subscribe. Click that bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Like, comment, and share this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.